Let's do another watch list going into Monday, August 26th. Quite a bit on my list here after running scans here this evening. Nvidia, we'll start off here first because this is where a lot of eyes will be with earnings coming up. I believe it's on Wednesday. So this will have a lot of influence in how the markets act after this recent Japan scare and big bounce back. I think Nvidia will have a big effect on it. So going into Wednesday, beginning of the week, I think cautious on market-related names. UPC was that recent China dump, and so far wicks are holding verse 3. I think this thing does end up at $1 eventually, but where it's at between now and then, I don't know. So playing it cautiously for now, but I'm going to keep an eye on that one still. Lumen had a small loss on this one. Was looking for that 640 break and hold, and we got that exactly. Parabolic right off the open. Pull back and held 640s over under. I had put some on right in here and cut the loss right here for about a 10-cent loser. It just didn't keep building. So move in, move out, move on when they don't work. RR, I'm not going to lose this one off radar. After this parabolic, I was shorting this red day, and it didn't pull back as much as it should have. Like you can see this one here going from the 130s down to 30 cents as $1, like it's just a scam name. But if shorts are holding that bias and this thing continues to hold trend, they could be caught on the wrong side. So I'm going to be watching this one going into next week if we can start to get some volume come back in and get this thing start to build over the 130s. Lunar, check out this daily chart here. Wicks are holding here towards 5, so don't want to lose this one off radar either. History of big multi-day moves, and this one's so far just 1 day move, but dips versus 5 continue to hold. You've got this lower high trend, so once this thing builds over this lower high trend line, could see higher. Use the initial move as second leg potential for me. APDN had a little breakout there on Friday through this 280s. Strongest of the bunch in the sector, the monkeypox sector. So far this had a push, pull, higher low, higher high. So this could either be a blowout, or it's gonna fail to follow through, or it's gonna try and consolidate for another leg over the 280s. So personally, I'm going to need more information on this. Same kind of thing with VRAX. Has now had its front side move, backside first red day. This is a lower high to here. If this higher low holds relative to the 330s and starts to break and build over 650s, that would now be a higher low and bucking trend to what you would expect to happen. And same kind of thing with GovX. So I'm just waiting for more information on these. Not going to have a bias one way or another just yet. Going to wait for more information there. Serve was my other trade here on Friday. We got that 10 breakdown. I had shorted some here in pre-market and was risking towards this 1040s just in case we got a push up towards it. And we got a hard crack lower high. So I started leaning in here on the pops towards 10 and then moving risk down to the high a day. I was trading off the 5 minute at this point because each candle had a lower high, lower high, lower high. And this cover here stopped me out right through 980s for a green trade, and it ended up coming all the way back, and then 10 held the rest of the day. So that little trailing stop that I've been using lately has really been helping. But the fact how choppy this one's been, I might give it one more try if 10 fails again. Might have exhausted shorts at this point and then be a less crowded trade. But if it doesn't come soon, if it starts to bounce off, then I'm not going to keep it on watch much longer. Should die soon. GDC was the big picture first red day watch going into Friday. We got that move there from the 1s. It was up to the 8s at that point. and hit 12s by market open. I ended up missing this just because I was looking for it to top out towards yesterday's highs, previous day's highs, I should say. We got that little blowout in pre-market, and then going into open, it was already over it. So this is now outside my plan of what I wanted to see. And then you get that parabolic from 9 straight up to 12, and then halt down, halt down, halt down. And the biggest bounce was from 7 to 8. And the only important risk level I have at this point is up to 12. So I can't really get an entry. I don't want to chase weakness. Chasing halts down, that's when you get trapped to the short side. And so I was looking for a bigger bounce towards VWAP. And even like if you use this bounce high as a risk, you get stopped out over here. If you short this breakdown, you get stopped out right back here. So like using a good risk level is important. And given how wide I would have had to risk to get involved, I just didn't think it was worth it. So now that it's red after that 4-day move, I'm going to be looking at any and all pops going into Monday to join for a failed follow through setup, join the backside trend. Ideally 5 gets heavy and we get a nice round trip. FFIE had the same kind of thing as GDC, where it starts gapping over previous day's highs by market open. And then off market open, you get this weak open, re-break of high a day, breaks through pre-market highs. So now all resistance has been broken. And then you get a lower low, and then you get this little bounce into VWAP. And I was waiting for higher backup into the 1050s, 1080s range. And all you get is a little bounce into 10s. And then that was all she wrote. So I ended up missing this one as well. Just wasn't getting as big of bounce as I want, which is probably a sign to them fading lower because they're just getting sold into on all pops when you're fighting on the offers and can't get a position. So this key level here in the 650s, 660s, if that breaks down, I think this thing round trips. So I'll be looking for all pops towards this 850 range. And be looking to join that trend for lower. ASTS, I have this one on watch. My friend Taco Tim just put a interview out with Anthony on Friday. I had watched it over the weekend, and this is the setup he went over. Looking for this 32 breakdown, a daily failed follow through setup. I call it a baggy breakdown, where you're shorting and pops should be met with selling pressure due to bag holders. So I'll be looking for that 32 to break and then join that trend for lower. Lucid, this daily's getting a bit ahead of itself, going from the 3s to the 4s. I'll be looking for higher the better, a blowout move and a potential first red day coming soon. And then Mura here is up in after hours from 180s to 280s, and it's got overhead resistance here looking left. So gap up into prior resistance, be looking for longs to sell, bag holders to be in trouble, and join that trade for a short lower. So lots to watch. We'll have to narrow it down here in pre-market and narrow it down to the top 2 or 3 into market open and see where we're at, see where things are gapping. Those are my plans for now, and I'll see you guys in the room.